If the Boston Celtics decide to trade away Jaylen Brown for Kevin Durant, they are making a huge mistake that's not only going to hurt them in the short term, but it will ruin the long-term plan that has Boston set up to be dangerous for a long while, in my opinion. Now, while KD is a very talented basketball player, he is also a Category 5 hurricane of locker room culture destruction. KD is about KD, not the Celtics, the Thunder, the Nets, or even the Warriors. And if you look, he's left a path of destruction as evidence, whether it was the rift caused by not sealing the deal in OKC, his antics with Draymond Green at the Warriors, are now the absolute disaster that is taking place in Brooklyn. It's pretty simple. Kevin Durant is a team killer in the long run. The only franchise that's been able to hold up for a couple years with Hurricane Durant was one of the greatest NBA dynasties we've seen with the Golden State Warriors. Now, there's something to be said for someone that can be effective and also not make the organization all about themselves. The Celtics have a great young core that's close to breaking through. They just made the finals, and they have built it the right way. So why would you let the fox in the hen house now? There's a great old story about this type of thinking. There's an old bull and a young bull sitting at the top of a hill looking at a herd of calves. The young bull says, "Hey, let's run down there and grab one of them." The old bull says, "Let's walk down there and grab all of them." And now that we're hearing that Jaylen Brown's probably going to be one of the Celtics involved in this trade if it goes through, to me, that's the most devastating part. You'd be willing to trade a guy who was all about the team and was really the only one that stepped up in the clutch for a guy that left his team after blowing a 3-1 series lead to join their opponent the next year with the best shooting backcourt we've ever seen. Let's be honest. You played with Clay and Steph. It's tough to double everybody. You also aren't getting a championship less Durant. He's already got 2 and a couple MVPs, finals MVPs. And is the motivation really there to be all in for the team through the thick and the thin? Now, I get that Durant would be traded and not just signing as a free agent, so that next chapter stuff dies with that. But he's still the same person that has a track record for getting teams off track. The Celtics would be trading in a chance to do something special multiple times over the next 5 to 7 to 10 years for a quick shot at winning one championship. And when that doesn't work, the antics will start right back up again. So Celtics, don't be the young bull. Be the old bull. Bring in our co-host David Cohn, Tom Selleck. Very excited to talk about why I think Kevin Durant would be an absolute disaster for the Celtics. I get he's unbelievable. Like I said, I get it, Cohn. I understand. MVP, unbelievable scorer, but look at this guy's past. You had to join the Warriors with Steph and Clay, and then you balled. When it's been you and you've had to be the guy, you guys have fallen flatter than Wile E. Coyote when the anvil hits them. So at some point, if you're the Celtics and you've done this and you've built this and you have this core and you have this future, just broke through Jason Tatum. I know didn't play well in the finals, especially when they needed him. But Jaylen Brown was your dog. You can have success with these guys over the long term. Add ancillary pieces. But Kevin Durant, to me, you're selling your soul. And I don't think you're going to win it. I don't think with Kevin Durant and Jaylen Brown gone, the Celtics are going to win it. And when they don't, he'll do the same thing that he did in OKC. He'll do the same thing that he's doing in Brooklyn with his brother, Kyrie Irving, all this stuff. He'll kick you to the curb as quick as anybody, David.
So I wrote down 3 points here on this. One, I don't think Boston is guaranteed to win a championship if they make this trade or if they don't make it.
I agree with that.
I think the second half of that is the only part where maybe I disagree with you on, is I don't think it's a guarantee either way. Think about when they put that the first real big 3 together, when they had Kevin Garnett, when they had Paul Pierce and Ray Allen. Even that trifecta only won 1 championship. So you bring in Kevin Durant, I don't know if you're even guaranteed to win a championship or if you don't trade for him. 2, Kevin Durant has never proven that he can be the guy on a championship team. And anyone whose response to that statement is, well, he's a 2-time world champion and he was the finals champion. Look, that Warriors, he was not the leader of that.
They're winning it without him.
They won it before he got there, and now they've won it since he left. Okay, now he was a great addition, and it made them absolutely unstoppable. I still don't think he was the leader of that team. And 3, to your point, Jaylen Brown was the best player on the Celtics down the stretch. Now, I don't know if he'll be the best player over the next 5 years. Obviously, if you want Kevin Durant, you'd have to give up a lot, and they're talking about not only giving up Jaylen Brown, but 3 first-round unprotected picks, plus 2 at least trade options. So But Jaylen Brown was your best player down the stretch. Now, I think Boston needs to add an additional piece to be a legit championship winner. But I think that that's at the point guard position. Now, when we had Jonathan Isaac on the show during the finals, I asked him that. I said, don't you think that Boston needs to add one extra piece offensively? And he said not really, because he thought they were the most balanced team in basketball last season. I get Marcus Smart was the defensive player of the year, and that's all well and good to have at the point guard position. But down the stretch, they needed an extra offensive piece, especially at the point guard position. If you can go and get something complementary to him and keep Marcus Smart and convince him that, hey, you may not play all the time at point guard. You may not even be the starting point guard. You're still our rock when it comes to our defense, but we need to add more on offense. I think he would be down for that to help them win a championship.
Yeah, and I think their closest path, I don't think you're off at all. Number one, nothing is guaranteed, especially for whatever happens with the Lakers, because they're going to do something. They have to. But when you add KD, your identity changes. And the Celtics' identity is they're tough, they're physical. Mm-hmm. Remember all the games they came back and won and losing the night and then going and winning the next game on the road? I just worry that Kevin Durant, again, great basketball player, but I think he is just a cancer to that locker room because it becomes all about them. And the reason the Celtics are on the precipice of it, because they play team ball. They play team ball, offensively and defensively, and they get after you. KD just doesn't bring that lunch pail attitude. I mean, it's always a problem. They kept Draymond, but let's be honest. Everywhere you've got, there's the word's like, all right, that's fine. Bad blood. Because again, what happened? When did the bad blood start? After it didn't go great. And anytime Kevin Durant faces adversity, it's somebody else's fault. And you talk about long-term deal, lock him up. You still got 4 years left on the contract. Yeah. You went to Brooklyn, you and Jay-Z and everybody out there, y'all were going to turn the city up. The Knicks aren't going to do it, well, we're going to do it at Brooklyn. Then look what happens. You guys get swept. So Kevin Durant, to me, I don't think he's this guy that's going to come in and totally, just try and be a mercenary 1 year. I don't think they win it with him.
This is just a reach to me. You're reaching for a quick championship. I don't know why. You're seeing the days in the NBA where draft picks and in-house, you're growing together or winning championships. You see with the Warriors, you just lost to a Warriors team in Game 6 of the finals. I mean, they won it, but you lost it more than they won it, in my opinion, the way you play with Jason Tatum, your stars, and everything like that. But you go back to this team, they did have Kyrie Irving at point guard. Didn't win it. You can say they were younger and all this. That's fine. But I do think there is a championship in this team with these three young guys. I do think the staple that the Celtics were built on was defense. That's why they're going to win the championship.
And
they're
travels.
long, they're physical, and they play defense, and they're together. You bring someone in like Kevin Durant. It doesn't become team ball. It becomes me ball.
I thought you would be the most in favor of this.
No,
I thought you would like this move.
Not at all. Not at all. I don't think you need to do this because what you would have to give up to get him is not worth what you can build around.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Right now, you're missing certain. You can say Al Horford's out the door. There's certain guys you can get rid of and be okay, but you're not missing a lot right now. And if you give up everything, you give up a young Jaylen Brown who's an absolute savage, especially in the clutch. Jaylen Brown was their guy in the playoffs. It wasn't Jason Tatum. It was Jaylen Brown. You are missing a few things to almost win it all. You lost it to a dynasty in the NBA. The same three guys. Steve Kerr, who's been doing it for a long time, you're missing certain pieces, and you can get that out of the draft. You can get that out of free agency. You don't need to put all your eggs in a basket of a guy who snakes locker rooms and leaves the next year to go try to win a quick championship against teams that are only getting better, like the Grizzlies are young and getting better. The Bucks are going to have
the Suns
next year.
I mean, even the Heat,
even the West.
You're putting a lot of eggs in one basket to a guy that you don't even know is going to be there, and it's dangerous because the Celtics are in a great place right now. I don't know why you would do it.
And again, you can say what you want about LeBron, and y'all know how I feel about him off the court, but he won one basically by himself. There are some guys that go and they can win it. They're going to hold that mantle. Kevin Durant is not the one in Cleveland.
But he had Kyrie.
Yeah, but it was
and Kevin Love, even though Kevin Love was hurt. But.
Yeah, well, to me, that was a very LeBron-heavy team, and Kyrie was the piece because everybody was focusing on LeBron. And, I thought that roster was put together a lot better than a lot of people thought. But Kevin Durant hasn't shown you, Conan, you made this point, and then when I get to the Booster Club, we'll get Cole Kubelik in here. Kevin Durant hasn't shown you that if you bring him to be the main piece, that he can take you to the promised land. He had to be really, if you really look at it, and Again, him one-on-one offensively. Look at the Warriors' defense with Kevin Durant. And now look at the Warriors' defense now. They're more scrappy with the guys they have now than they were with Durant. They could just score an unbelievable amount of points with Kevin Durant. And again, he's a great offensive scorer, but he's not a Celtics-type guy to me. He's not a guy that's in your grill defensively. He's not a guy that's diving on the floor for balls. He's a guy that's going to get the ball and he's going to shoot it and he's going to make a lot of them. He's going to talk. He'll make some crazy shots because he's 19 feet tall, but he's not a guy that you want guarding somebody with the game on the line. That's not who Kevin Durant is.
Let me ask you this, hypothetically. If you could get Kevin Durant and you're the Celtics without giving up anything, if this were a free agency situation, would you add him because of his greatness? Or are you thinking like, oh, he's such a team cancer, I don't even want to touch the nucleus we have?
I'm more, if you could get him for, nothing.
You could just sign him.
If you could just sign him basically what the Warriors did,
yeah,
then you have a killer third option. But you're not messing with that core.
Yeah.
The biggest part about this whole thing isn't just adding Kevin Durant. It's losing Jaylen Brown.
Yeah.
I'm telling you right now, I'm so high on Jaylen Brown. If he does go to Brooklyn, that locker room's going to get a whole hell of a lot better, a lot quicker. Because this guy is the consummate bulldog. Who wanted the ball with the game on the line? Who was taking it to the rack? Who wasn't turning it over as much as anybody else? Who was making plays on defense? It was Jaylen Brown. To me, Marcus Smart is your spirit animal. Marcus Smart is your guy that's going to get down, get aggressive. Jaylen Brown's the other one. The difference is Jaylen Brown can score 50. Jaylen Brown can go absolutely unconscious for long stretches of time, and he is a professional bucket getter.
If this was a couple years ago with a young Celtics team, I'd be wary of signing Kevin Durant. Same thing with the Warriors. You sign him with a bunch of experienced guys. The nucleus was experience. Now, if you could get Kevin Durant in a free agency situation, if you're the Celtics, you for sure get him. Kevin Durant, at the end of the day, top 4 NBA player. And probably top 2, realistically. If you think about it, you get him because he's just a huge piece. And you're older now, and you know how to deal with things now. Not a bunch of young guys running around trying to win championships. So if it's me, if you give a free agency, 100%.
What does the Booster Club say, Blaine?
Yeah, DJ Barber says if the Celtics do this, it'll be more comedic when the Sixers gave up Jimmy Butler.
Yeah, and look, you're not going to win it next year. I'm just telling you. You'll may make the conference finals. You'll lose it there. I'm telling you, the Heat are coming. The Heat are coming, and they're getting scarier and scarier and scarier. Kyle Lowry's healthy. Imagine if you put Kyle Lowry on the Celtics. Yeah. That's the missing piece.
That's what I'm saying.
To be honest with you.
Well, not the way he played in the playoffs. A lot better.
Well, he's hurt. Kyle Lowry's hurt.
Well, he played in the playoffs this year.
But if you could add him while keeping Marcus Smart. See, that would be
especially depth of the point guard position. It's huge. That's a win regardless.
All right, hey, if you like what you heard, go ahead and ring that bell. Turn those notifications on. We're bringing it every day daily from 2 to 3 Central, and we want you here. I can hear it ringing now.